Good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It is too early.
It is, and I've fucking had it.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan, and I've fucking had it.
Yeah, you will notice that Nightbot, periodically, thank you.
I got you.
Throughout the episode this morning, we'll be giving a link to abortionfunds.org, a great place that distributes their donations to local abortion clinics and abortion providers in your state or in states that particularly need it. Let's remember that once this garbage fucking draft becomes a garbage fucking thing, 13 states have trigger laws that go into effect that immediately make abortion illegal.
Now, a lot of people will say, guys, Roe v. Wade has not overturned yet. Sure, absolutely. And there's a lot of debate as to why this leak happened and how this leak happened, because leaks from the Supreme Court are extremely rare. The last time we saw a leak of this size actually was just a few hours before Roe v. Wade passed initially.
Saige, would you say that this leak is perhaps the real insurrection? No. No one should, up. And everyone who talks like that should shut their mouths. Go on.
There are most likely two possibilities. A lot of people want to say, hey, we got this leak so that we could organize. And do what? Right? Organize, do it, support abortion funds, do everything you can, show up and vote is the number one thing that you can start doing right now. But like, those are the things that we're going to do, right? I know between you and me, BBs, we know that you're all going to show up and you're going to vote. You're going to vote in local elections. You're going to vote in every election, right? Mm-hmm. We know that because voting makes you cooler, better, and hotter.
That's the bare minimum that you do as a person.
Bare minimum. The other possibility is that it was leaked from the side that hates people who get pregnant's bodily autonomy and wants to make sure that those Supreme Court justices feel kind of pigeonholed into the choices they've made, so they don't seem like they're flip-flopping on an idea.
Yeah.
Which is also a great possibility. It's fucking sucks.
There are a lot of possibilities.
There is a big possibility that this was leaked so that they would feel stuck and set in this decision because they don't care about our backlash.
I'll tell you what, one thing that I do love about this is the minute that it leaked, of course, there were protests everywhere. One of the lovely things about being in California, listen, Gavin Newsom, not great, but one thing that he did say is like, yo, we'll just make this legal and on the books, which is something that should have happened immediately after Roe v. Wade. And nobody wanted to because our centrist bullshit government operates on one side being evil and one side saying, oh, no, don't worry, we can depend on this forever and always, and I never have to take a stand and make 30% of my constituents mad at me because I'm a politician.
I don't know if you saw, it was going around throughout the internet today and even on TikTok, Elizabeth Warren leaving illegal building, being chased by reporters, and nearly in tears trying to just get her point out where people were screaming at her about murdering babies.
Ridiculous.
About this attack on our fundamental and basic human rights.
Listen.
So if you are as angry as I am today, I encourage you to channel that energy into getting informed, into taking a stand, into educating people. And if you have time, you can volunteer. There are abortion clinics that have the opportunity to volunteer to even escort people just from their car up to the doors of the building because protests are wild outside of them. And remember that they are currently still legal. Even in the states that we know will flip very, very soon, they are still legal right now, and they will do everything in their power to try and convince you that it's already gone.
Yep. Do whatever you can today, and remember, none of this has anything to do with human life. This is about control of women. This is about control of people who can have children. This is about control of people who are in lower and middle classes.
This is about class warfare.
This is about consolidation of power. It is not about anything religious, no matter what they tell you, because I'll tell you what. You're looking at two Jewish hosts right here, and our religion says that a woman or anybody that's having a child needs to be able to have access to an abortion if needed.
Correct.
It is in our religion. That woman or that person has the right to have an abortion for any cause of distress.
And yet our faith is not by any capacity put into law.
No. It's super weird. When they say religious freedom, we know what religion they're talking about.
It's awfully fucking specific. This disproportionately is going to affect minorities. This is disproportionately going to affect lower income, poor people, because they will never take away abortion. They will never eliminate abortion. They will only eliminate safe access to abortion. People in states like California will continue to have access. And people who are in the South, for instance, and don't have the money to fly somewhere else when they need that, like a rich politician's mistress does, are going to be in a very different situation.
Wealthy people will always have access to whatever wealthy people want access to. It's important to remember that in countries where abortion is legal, 37 out of every 1,000 women or people who can have children will have an abortion. In countries where it's illegal, that number only drops to 34. What goes up is the number of
people that die,
injuries, mortalities, complications. It does not lower the amount of abortions. This is healthcare, and as we have seen, our country is hostile towards healthcare and hostile towards human life. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. But let's move on. Let's move on. We've got that donate link. It'll be popping up.
I set it on a timer. I haven't seen it pop up yet, but I also tried to create one that would pop up like this.
It'll pop up.
No?
If it don't pop, it'll pop up.
No? Where are you? Nightbot?
While we're looking at that, it's basically abortionfunds.org is what it's going to pop up.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to throw that in. And we'll check out the bot and make sure it gets working. In other world news, I mean, nothing is as important as that, but we're going to downshift into the stuff that we normally cover. And we're going to talk about the big one this morning. Obi-Wan.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna downshift. We're gonna switch over, and I can handle that. We can do this. Okay, here we go. Trying to get this command up and going.
Yeah, no worries.
It is important.
So we got the final trailer to Obi-Wan this morning. 2 hours ago, as a matter of fact, for May the 4th. And it's very exciting.
Nice link. I got a Capri Sun because it's a Capri Sun kind of day, you know what I mean?
I love the new version of Duel of the Fates that they're using.
Can you go down a little bit?
They're coming.
Yeah.
Oh, live action Inquisitors. I'm freaking out over that.
Or we will not survive.
There are no closed captions, I apologize.
Leave us alone. When the time comes, he must be trained. Like you trained his father?
Ooh. Uncle Owen. Uncle Owen coming in hot.
You still want Kenobi. He's gone.
God.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong place.
This looks so great.
Wait.
I want every lowlife and
Wanted.
to squeeze him.
God. The Inquisitor HQ is fucking wild looking.
So wild.
Yes. And by yes, I mean no. Yo. Let's go. Let's
the intro.
go to the intro.
Anthony, give me some feelings. Give me some immediate feelings from that trailer.
I mean, it looks pitch perfect.
Doesn't it?
It looks entirely pitch perfect. I am such a huge fan of the Inquisitors. I love how much the Inquisitors are being used lately in the comics, in the games. Obviously, they started in the animation, but I love seeing them in live action. And I love this idea of, you know, we've seen some of these stories of what happens after Order 66. It's been a fun little thing that we bring up in things like comics, books,
Yeah.
video games, obviously Cal Kestis and all that. But yo, what was Obi-Wan doing during all that?
Where was Obi-Wan? And I like that through these shows. I mean, it's very interesting because we've made a few shows that have surrounded that time. And through those, we're slowly exploring where people were. And it's very interesting. And I think like strangely grounding central point for Star Wars because it's something that we all know happened. And like, I think that there's so many different, like, okay, well, this is in this time, and this one is, you know, this ABY, right? You're in 9 ABY here, and you're in this. But having that central point of where everyone was during Order 66 and immediately after is such a fucking cool thing to focus on. I cannot tell you how into that I am.
Yeah, and I also love, you know, something that I love about this is, yes, this is an Obi-Wan story, but something that they've been very good about, even in Boba Fett, which was not as well received a series as some of the other recent Star Wars stuff.
Sure.
They've been very good about, okay, here's Obi-Wan. Who else is here? Who else is new and interesting that we can introduce you to? Because this is a huge galaxy. It needs to not feel like one block of a neighborhood where everybody knows each other.
Right, not 10 special boys.
Yeah, it's not the story of 10 special boys throughout time and space.
Yeah.
So I do love that we're getting introduced into new Star Wars characters who are going to, like, I mean, look, Obi-Wan's a limited series, but that doesn't mean that they can't do things that are all set during Order 66 and post-Order 66, right?
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. As much as I also, and like this is a struggle because I also want to see all of these other times in Star Wars. Having just like a time where we just kind of hit this point and see everything around it, and that's how all the shows connect.
It's good.
That's good.
It's gonna be good. And of course,
good.
It of course starts May 27th, which is so fun if you're going to be at Celebration, because I'm sure there will be some sort of Celebration watch party for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I'm positive there will be.
Can we talk about other things that are coming up yet?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. But yeah.
And then we won't.
I'm excited. It's gonna be so good. I can't believe we're so close to this freaking show. I can't believe it.
Yeah. It felt like it was forever away when it got announced.
I know.
Like an impossible amount of time away.
Well, and then we had the blip.
Right.
And then we had the blip, and my memory's not so good of the blip, so now it feels like it happened so fast.
Then we had our own Order 66.
Yeah, we did a little time skip.
Right.
I'm older, I'm wiser now.
Yes.
I know more jutsu than I did before. Probably equally as important a trailer, Saige. Dropped last night. This one, I would argue, is maybe just as big.
I would also argue that this is just as big.
I mean, certainly in this room.
Argue it exactly.
Certainly in this room.
For this room, I actually think it's just as big. And Anthony, I did something. I waited to watch it.
Oh, now, as you know, Daniel Radcliffe, the good weird boy that we love so much. What a good weird boy he's turned out to be.
Good weird boy.
Is starring in Weird, the Al Yankovic story, a biopic for the Roku channel. Fine, whatever.
Which is free. I have to keep remembering that it's free.
You can just have the Roku channel, I guess. And we were like, wait a minute, they're not doing like a legit biopic.
We've been speculating about this for months. From the photos that were coming out, I was like, nah, it's a parody.
It's gotta be.
And I don't know the answer to that yet. And we're gonna watch it live.
We're gonna watch it live. I know Brit JK is like cracking up at the Roku channel, and it's just like BoJack's like whattimeisitnow.com original programming.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like to me. All right, are we ready?
Yeah, send to that.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
People don't understand. People don't understand how good.
Naka.
Hope you guys are ready for this.
You don't have a little.
Like a surgeon.
Hey! Oh my god! I should turn it down a little bit so we don't get copyright struck by Weird Al.
Yeah.
Notice me, Weird Al.
Look at that. It looked like just ripped Daniel
Why is
Radcliffe spitting. Spitting. And there was like a fight scene.
Are there captions on this?
Yeah, but it's over. That's it.
What can I say? I'm full of surprises.
Okay. So it's definitely a goof.
It's definitely a goof.
Hell
It's
yeah.
going to be partially true, partially a goof.
Yeah, I think it's going to be based on his real life, but be a funny movie.
Yeah, I think all of the big moments of his career will be represented.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in a jokey, goofy, hilarious way. I love this. I love it. Just the part where he's like drinking Jack from the bottle and spitting and he's ripped, and I'm just like, this is clearly Weird Al telling his story like the way he wants it to be told, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're going to get like a Weird Al. I think Al is going to be the narrator.
Interesting.
I think it will be him narrating his biopic.
Oh, that'd be dope as shit.
And like and he'll be like, "Yeah, that was like the real rock and roll times." And that's when you'll see like Rip Daniel Radcliffe. Is that Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento? Yes, it is. Which is amazing.
That's good. That's very good. As somebody who often talks about how obsessed I truly was with Weird Al as a kid, and I genuinely mean obsessed. I have seen Weird Al in concert no less than 7 times.
But also no more than 7 times.
I've genuinely lost count because he used to come to the county fair locally. I grew up in Orange County, and he used to come to the Orange County Fair every single year. I was obsessed with Weird Al.
Dude, I used to watch UHF like once a week.
Fucking loved UHF.
It was
There are
UHF
parts
like
of UHF that do not hold up.
No, it's very much the 80s. However, there's some stuff in UHF. The stuff that I always thought was the funniest in UHF is still the funniest. Like the guy who's like, turtles are nature's suction cup. That was always like one of the funniest parts of UHF to me, and that's still fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's still pretty funny.
The marble, you get to find the marble in the oatmeal. You found the marble in the oatmeal. Now you get to drink from the fire hose. That's still fucking hilarious. Like there's stuff that is just timeless about that movie. Weird Al is just timeless.
Absolutely timeless. Cassidy Weaver said, I once shared a Denny's with a Weird Al.
Like you owned it together? Like you had to run, like you and Weird Al had to like run this business together?
That was incredible.
I love that.
I talked about this last time. We talked about Weird Al, but I went to a premiere for a Twilight movie when I was a teenager. It was like the second to last one.
I didn't get to talk to him before he left. That's a bad way to run a business.
I think it was like the second to last one or whatever. And all around me were the biggest celebrities in the world. 16-ish-year-old me looking around at everybody. And there is, I mean, genuinely, because like Twilight was the biggest fucking thing in the world at the time.
Right.
Everyone is right around me. And directly behind me in line, I hear the unmistakable voice of Weird Al Yankovic. And I went, I didn't give a shit. Everyone else, that's great.
Just Weird Al.
But Weird Al being behind me in line, I was like, I should let him go. I should not be in front of Weird Al in line. This feels incorrect.
I interviewed him for Star Wars Celebration, for the first Star Wars Celebration I hosted. And I got to walk him through the cantina and have him talk to puppets and stuff and interview him. And he was hilarious. And there were so many production issues because we didn't know as a team what to do yet with live. And like, he was so wonderful, rolled with everything, was like went in for every bit. Just a lovely guy. I can't wait to watch this film. Cannot wait to watch this film. And speaking of films and games, we have talked about the Riff Trax game before. We know it's coming. We got the initial trailer for it, but we now have the lineup of films which will be initially included in the Riff Trax game.
Oh, snap. Let's get into this list.
First of all, The Last Shark.
I have not seen this movie.
This is from when every movie was Jaws. Jaws came out, and now every movie was Jaws. So The Last Shark is an Italian ripoff of Jaws. Look at this. The shark launches this man up into the sky, and it's clearly just like a mannequin.
Dummy, yeah.
This is going to be so good. Then we have the 1976 John Travolta classic, The Boy in the Plastic Bubble.
Yep.
Which literally is Jake Gyllenhaal's Bubble Boy, but serious.
Uh-huh.
That's what Bubble Boy was based on, is the fact
Yeah.
that this is a serious film.
I forget how old John Travolta is.
I don't. Never forget how old and weird John Travolta is.
I don't forget how weird he is. I just forget how old.
Robo Vampire, which is a classic. I love Robo Vampire.
I've only ever seen clips of Robo Vampire.
Oh my God, Robo
Watched it.
Vampire is so good. It's so good. Then we have Fun in Balloon Land.
Have you seen this one, Anthony?
No.
I don't know what this
I've
is.
never heard of Fun in Balloon Land.
On the website here, which this was written by, I think, one of the developers of the game, said, I have a lot to say about Fun in Balloon Land, but there's just one problem. It's incredibly hard to describe. It is an event.
It is an event. It's a spectacle so cracked and baffling that you'll have to double check to make sure you haven't slipped into an alternate reality. I love that. And then we have Roller Gator. Roller Gator owns so hard. This was the 80s. This was everything is ET, but also roller skating is very hot right now.
Yeah, of course.
And like,
incredible.
look at this. There are ninjas. You've got to save Roller Gator from the ninjas.
We've got to stream this when it comes out.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And of course, you will be able to riff. There will be, you'll be able to riff with an audience. The audience will be able to vote on riffs. It's all very exciting. And they say in addition to feature films, Riff Trax the game also has clips from over 30 short films, including the legendary Shake Hands with Danger. I love old safety instructional films so much.
It's like a
so
product placement
much.
for Capri Sun. It's not. But we'd take your money.
In addition to these films, we've packed the game full of Riff Trax classics such as Attack of the Super Monsters, Plan 9 from Outer Space, The Clean Club, Charade, The Talking Car, Bride of the Gorilla, and many, many more. They will also be adding 100 new clips shortly after launch as a free update with regular content updates to follow. I mean, this is the thing that's wonderful about this, is a lot of these films have entered into the public domain.
Yeah.
And nobody wants the copyrights on them anymore.
Right.
Or it's impossible to find who owns the copyrights on them anymore. And so you can just add these things.
Yeah, so people are just like letting like their copyrights go because they're like, nobody gives a shit about this movie.
Like
we do.
Like Charade is genuinely a good movie. Charade is like a Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn film that just happens to be in the public domain. And I love Charade. It's one of my favorite films. So this is very exciting. This is very exciting. I can't wait to play this game.
Looking forward to that very, very much. Let's
transition fully into games, shall we?
Yeah, we got a bunch of game stuff. Something that was big on Twitter this week. The Sims released a very cryptic trailer. And I gotta say, specifically my Twitter was absolutely ablaze about this. I got a lot of Sims fans.
Yeah, you're
you know what I mean?
in Sims Twitter.
I'm in Sims Twitter. So this was, is this gonna work? Yeah! This was the trailer that they released. Just like, not even a trailer, just like a little clip, okay? Ooh. See you tomorrow. And we thought...
That better not be an NFT.
We thought, content?
That immediately to me looks like an NFT
The
logo.
Sims 5? I also was concerned it was an NFT. It's not an NFT.
Okay, that looks like
I know.
Okay.
I also had my concerns. It's not an NFT, and I'll give you that right now.
Okay,
And we
God.
were like, it's got to be time for Sims 5. We've bought so many expansions. We've bought so many kits. Don't give us any more stuff.
No, it's
We don't
time.
want to pay more money into The Sims 4 for more stuff. Everything that you could give us, we've made it in mods. Give us a new game.
Mhm.
Give us, or like a new, like actual update to the game then maybe.
Sure.
That isn't just like items I can put in my house. But
Yeah.
no, unfortunately, they followed up with another trailer that was weird and kind of mysterious.
Is it just more kits?
There's just more kits, guys.
What is this? Stay up in The Sims with 1 game pack and 2 kits.
It's just stuff.
It's just stuff. It's just your Sims now own things at night.
You pay, well, only if you pay more money.
Pay more money, and now your Sims can own things at their property does not get taken by wolves.
In the eve.
Yeah, predators do not come into your home and destroy it. As you know, a big problem with The Sims and progression in The Sims is when the sun goes down and your family goes to sleep, the wolves come in and destroy your home. And now you don't have to.
So it does look like there will be werewolves, actually.
Great.
It looks like they're adding a werewolf thing.
Are they going to seize your stuff?
No.
Okay.
Do you know what I want from The Sims?
What do you want from The Sims?
I want to return to the day where when one of your Sims died, you would get a little tombstone outside, and you could go out and you could mourn it every day.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the Grim Reaper would show up, and you could romance it.
Yeah. And then sometimes also
Or
maybe
trap
like
it in your house.
maybe like another Sim comes out and like in Simlish is like, and it's like, yo, mourning is one thing, but like you need to let go because you've been going out there for years now.
Yeah.
You know? And then it turns into a very touching thing. And then when they finally get you to leave the gravesite of your poor departed, wolves come and just fucking desecrate it.
Yeah. So what we
because
are
you
getting,
need to buy that night pack.
Right. We've got chic nights out, cozy nights in, and go wild. It would appear nights out and nights in are just the kits, and I think that the go wild is a game pack. It says whether you're dressing up for a big date, making memories in your backyard, or running wild this season, we'll have you staying up late. Okay.
The wolves come and piss everywhere. Yeah, the wolves will just come and piss everywhere if you don't buy this pack. I'm tired of these wolves pissing on everything I buy in The Sims.
I had a co-op game of The Sims on my PlayStation 2 with my next door neighbor as a kid. And one of our characters died, and like it was our first time playing The Sims.
Yeah.
So we didn't know that you could just straight up fucking die. And it's not like you get a new character, like you're just dead now.
No, it's dead. Yeah.
And it was like, well, shit, you have to come and grieve me. What do you mean? And then the Grim Reaper got trapped in our house.
Mm-hmm. And then the Grim Reaper wouldn't pay rent. And then the Grim Reaper said squatters' rights. Mm-hmm. And then wolves came in and pissed everywhere.
It was wild.
The Sims listen, every EA game is a little bit of a money grab. But the fact that the wolves will come in and piss all over everything every night, unless you buy this DLC, is like the worst, is like maybe the most egregious EA decision that nobody's talking about. It might be the most
egregious. I'm team make Sims weird again.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's get the Sims back to being fucking weird. And I know it's still kind of weird.
Are you talking about like DS level weird?
I'm talking about like Nintendo DS level, PlayStation 2 level, Sims in the City, the Herbs level. Let's get back to the Sims being real fucking weird.
When we're talking about a return to American values, what we're talking about is the Sims being
2.
Weird.
The Sims 2 for the Nintendo DS.
Those are American values. So sorry to, I guess, every Sims fan because EA doesn't care about games. Hey, you know who else doesn't care about games?
I do.
Square Enix. We talked about this on Monday. Square Enix sold off just a ton of its IP. Tomb Raider, Legacy of Kain. Like, it was just selling stuff off. It's like, we don't want to deal with this anymore. We don't want to deal with games. We're really going to focus on blockchain, AI, and cloud, is what they said. And it's like, okay, number one, it sounds like you're about to stroke out because you're just saying things.
Right.
And number two,
Synergy.
and it just falls over.
Meta.
The marketplace of ideas, and then they just fall over, and then a wolf comes and pisses on the CEO of Square Enix. No,
but it can't load the fur of the wolf.
No, it cannot load the fur of the wolf. They cannot. The fur of the wolf is the Final Fantasy expansion that just doesn't load. Finally,
if you modify it and you make the wolf bald, you can see it piss in 60 frames per second.
Otherwise, the wolf pisses at like 7 frames. They sold off all the IP. They sold off they sold off their 2 Canadian studios and also one of their US studios. Like, they're getting rid of everything.
Yeah.
They don't want to make games anymore. And this all dovetails really nicely with a story that I forgot to bring up on Monday that I wanted to. Yugi Naka.
Mm-hmm.
Yugi Naka I apologize. I apologize for my loss of faith. I apologize for bad-mouthing you. It is only because I loved you. And in my defense, it did seem like Yuji Naka had taken quite a tumble from grace.
Sure, yeah.
Over the last few years. However, Yuji Naka last week came out publicly and said, and also filed a suit against Square Enix for being removed from Balan Wonderworld a full 6 months before release.
Very interesting, Square.
He says that he was taken off the game. He was removed from all creative decisions. He told them that the game needed more time, and they said, no, we're Square Enix, we don't care.
And they sure don't.
And they sure don't. And then they sent a wolf to his house to piss on him. Now, here's the thing. Was the game going in a bad direction? I mean,
probably, yeah.
Maybe, yeah, probably. It certainly didn't. There was nothing that he was doing that was instilling confidence in Square Enix. But we know that Square Enix tells everybody, finish it 6 months early, and it better make $17 billion,
right?
Or we're not making a game anymore, because they just don't want to make games.
They just don't want to make games.
They just don't want to do it. So Yuji Naka came out and made another statement after Square Enix sold off all of this property and said,
this is my Twitter.
That's your Twitter.
Hey, Twitter.
Square Enix do not care about games or game fans. He says, Square Enix and Arzest are companies that do not care. He posted a thread of tweets twice, posted it in Japanese and then in English, using Google Translate for the English. But here are some quotes from the thread. 6 months before the launch of Balan Wonderworld, a work order was issued removing me as director, so I filed a lawsuit in court. Now that the case is over, he's free to discuss it. I was removed as director of Balan Wonderworld on 2 points. It was executed by the producer, advertising, sound, director in charge, and human resources. First, a YouTuber was going to play the piano and publish the score of the game song for a promotion, and I got in trouble because I thought it was strange that the music was arranged and a ghostwriter wrote the score, and I insisted on publishing the score of an original song. So basically, like, they were going to say that this famous YouTuber, wrote the song for Balan Wonderworld and not credit the actual composer of the song for Balan Wonderworld. Then, what I said in response, and he keeps saying, according to the court documents, because he can't say this is what happened, said, according to the court documents, what I said in response to the Arzest submission of the game without fixing it, despite the fact that there were glitches in the development process, my comments to make the game better are disrupting my relationship with Arzest. So,
it also says in the court documents that during the development of the game, a bunch of wolves showed up at his house and pissed on everything. And that's why the game didn't work so good. They pissed on his computer.
They pissed on the hard drive that had Balan's hat. The large hat that Balan wears was kept on a special hard drive in Yuji Naka's house, and a wolf pissed on the very specific hard drive that kept the large man's hat. Now, the reason that this Arzest thing is such a problem, serious legal face, the reason the Arzest thing is such a problem and honestly heartbreaking is Arzest was co-founded by Naoto Oshima. Naoto Oshima, of course, is the character designer for Sonic and Knights, and is basically, like, when you think about the art style of Sonic Team, you're thinking about Naoto Oshima, and he and Yuji Naka have worked together on almost everything. And the fact that his company, Arzest, was not listening to Yuji Naka and not fixing glaring errors in the game, which, hey, we know there are glaring errors in that game. I tried to play it and it made me physically nauseous. That's not a joke. There was a weird effect in the game that was making people nauseous. And Yuji Naka was like, you can't release this game. We need to fix this game. And they were not listening. He says, I believe that a game should be made with the intention of making it a good game until the very end. I think it is strange to remove a director who comments on a game without consulting him because there's not enough time to do so. I'm truly sorry for the customers who bought my unfinished Balan Wonderworld.
Sad.
Game creators are supposed to improve their games until the very last minute, and to prevent them from doing so is not right.
That's very sad.
Yeah. It's extremely sad. He said, I wanted to release it to the world as an action game in a proper form. That's such a bummer.
Skywalker asked what that effect was, and I don't exactly know what the effect was in Balan Wonderworld. They had an issue with camera angles and movement, and they had a lot of issues with flashing as well that was also being linked to causing seizures.
I can tell you what the exact effect was, because I played a chunk of Balan Wonderworld. The very first level had this weird... You know how the old Animal Crossing games had that thing where they were on like a cylinder, where as you're walking, like things kind of like move as a cylinder up? They were doing this weird thing in Balan Wonderworld where they were trying to do almost like a pop-up book thing where the background would kind of roll up. But what happened was it rolled up in a weird lurching way, and it also moved at a different frame rate than the foreground. And as you were running through the level, it just made you sick. It was literally seasickness. And they did finally remove that from the final version of the game. But one thing that they did not remove from the game, unfortunately, that was making people sick was at the end of that same level, you would beat the boss, and then a wolf would pop up and piss into your mouth. And it made a lot of people really nauseous.
It's like pop-up book effect, right?
So the wolf lurches up. The wolf like lurches up at a different frame rate and pisses into your mouth. And clearly Yuji Naka saw that and he's like, I think that's the wolf that stole the man's hat and pissed on it. And
I didn't put that wolf in the game.
And now Oshima was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what wolf you mean, but that's got to be a different wolf.
You know wolves.
They're always pissing on things. They're not domesticated. It takes like 5 generations for them to turn into dogs. They're gonna piss in your mouth until then.
And Yuji Naka's like, no, I didn't want a wolf in the game. And they're like, oh, well, that is a totally different scenario than you asking the wolf not to piss.
Yeah. Also, there are like 3 wolf costumes in the game, and they all do different things. But one of them doesn't piss. They didn't make a single pissing wolf costume.
That's a little lazy.
Which is a little lazy, because what do you think of when you think of wolves in nature?
In other updates on game development, we gotta talk about the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. We were very excited when this remake was announced, and then there has just been radio silence when it came to the Prince of Persia. Don't, Anthony, do not. Anthony, I need you to let me get through this part.
Get through it.
Okay.
Who's stopping you?
The Prince of Persia Twitter account posted an update finally, which was very exciting. They said the development of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake will now be led by Ubisoft Montreal, the very birthplace of the epic Sands of Time trilogy. The decision is an important step, and the team building upon the work achieved by Ubisoft Prune and Ubisoft Mumbai will now take the time that they need to regroup, and scope of the game will deliver you the best experience in this remake of an all-time classic when it's ready. They thanked us for our continued support and whatnot, and they said that they will give us future updates, which is very exciting.
Yeah, Sands of Time is one of my favorite games of all time, and even though it has not aged incredibly well, the ideas were very novel for the time, but a lot of people have integrated those ideas now.
Yeah.
I went back and I played a chunk of it recently, and it still feels very unique, and it's still very playable. I'm very excited about this remake. I'm glad, it sounds like Ubisoft Pune and Ubisoft Mumbai were having some issues sort of getting this right. And it's nice that they're bringing Ubisoft Montreal in to sort of rein it in and fix it up. What do you hope that they add?
I watched your brain just completely leave here and go to the wolves.
I was like, I can't do it.
I just watched you go.
I can't do it. I was going to go into some of the problems that Ubisoft Mumbai was having.
Leave Ubisoft Mumbai out of this. These wolves are an American problem.
Well, that's the issue. Is they're not even native. Those wolves aren't even native to India. Where did they come from? How did these wolves get to Mumbai to piss all over everything? They would have had to like get on a boat
or a plane. Oh my God.
It was an entire plane of grandmothers.
Airlines.
They just looked like a plane of nice grandmothers. And then it landed just grandmothers in bonnets and glasses and sleeping gowns. And they were like, "Oh, welcome to Mumbai, all you grandmas."
And they said,
"Thank you.
It's better to smell you with.
It's good to be here. It's better to, yeah."
You know, we hear a lot of stories lately coming from airlines about people just being absolutely feral these days on airlines, refusing to keep masks on, being unkind to the staff, pissing all over the plane. I feel like you hear one of these stories every week about a grandmother pissing all over an airplane.
Listen, and now we know. We were just like, what is the problem with America's grandmas?
Why does it seem like people in the pandemic have gone absolutely feral and don't know how to fly anymore?
What's weird is like the people pissing were not the people that had problems wearing masks. Like they were like, "Can I wear a mask?"
Yeah,
and everybody
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Of course why wouldn't you be able to wear a mask?" It's
Unless
like,
you're that one dumb airline that like pulled off the mask and was like, "Everybody celebrate, COVID's over!" in the middle of a flight.
And then they all went home sick. Isn't that the same airline where half their employees went home sick and they couldn't staff anything? Whoops. Hey. Saige.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dying Light.
Sure, let's talk about Dying Light. Okay. Whew, we made it.
Dying Light has announced its final Hell Raid DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Final.
Yeah, all done.
Coming to the end of Dying Light, which it felt like Dying Light was just going to release new everything forever. But
yeah, it had all good things must come to an end.
All good things, they must begin work on the next thing, I suppose.
They must accept that people aren't really playing a lot of Dying Light.
Yeah. You can keep making stuff for Dying Light, but like...
It's the sounds of the chairs creaking.
It's like one of those weird YouTube videos where they pull the music out of a music video, and all you hear is people's feet shuffling.
Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
Yes.
Click, click. Or Oops, I Did It Again, and it's just her suit, like her latex suit creaking.
Anyway, it drops tomorrow. And I don't know anything about Dying Light, so I don't know why this is cool. I just know that we talk about Dying Light a lot. And it's honestly, if we can be honest, slow news week.
And a weird fucking day.
In terms of like games news, slow news week.
Okay. Light up, man.
I do want to talk about this, though. I want to talk about, this week, for whatever reason, everybody got to interview Reggie Fils-Aimé. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That's so important, and I'm just going to miss that call.
Do you want to take the call?
I kind of want to tell the internet.
I mean, you can take the call. We could tell the internet.
Guys,
I'm not going to take the call.
I'm not going to take the call. Everybody, I already missed it. I'm getting a call from the Department of Water and Power right now.
They said you can't run that many extension cables to a shed. They said you cannot. You clearly have 50 extension cables running to a shed.
And who pissed all over the breakers?
And I said, hey, let's be real. This time, it was me. I pissed on the break. Because listen, when we have that 5-minute break during failed save, the line for that bathroom in the shed, the line for the outhouse here at the shed.
It's not an outhouse.
It's an outhouse here at the shed.
It's a real bathroom.
And it's an outhouse. It's a chemical toilet. It's for composting.
Not true. None of that's
and
true.
We all wait in line for it, and we have 5 minutes. And I looked at the breaker, and it was shiny, and I pissed on it.
Guys, what's actually happening right now, and this is legitimately not a joke. I get a call and they're like, hey, we want to let you know that you've got pretty high usage this month at insert address here. And I said, I saw my address.
That's not I don't live there.
I don't live there. And they said, you've had power on there for 5 years. And I said, I beg your unbelievable pardon.
I said, Saige, you've been dead for 20 years.
And I'll be perfectly honest about how this call went. They called and they said, is this Saige Campbell? And I am not a person that says yes to that ever. I will never say yes to that.
No. I'm shocked. I'm shocked you even said it on camera.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because you usually don't.
That's fine. It's on the internet.
No, I know. It's just you usually don't even like to say it.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I just said it. It's fine. They asked if it's me, and I said, no. And they said, okay. And they knew it was me. You know they knew it was me.
If anybody calls and asks my name, I say no immediately.
I said no immediately. And also, like, look, my number's gotten out in weird places before. I'm not fucking with this. So anyways, they say this to me and I'm like, no, it's not. And they're like, okay, well, I was like, I can pass on a message. And they're like, okay, well, if Saige is there, could you just let her know that there's a high power at this address? And I was like, if Saige hypothetically didn't live there anymore, why would you be saying this to her? And they were like, what do you mean? Because this is your power account. Anyways, come to find out, my ex-boyfriend has been using power in the house we used to live in for in my name for the last 3.5 years. I haven't lived there, maybe 4 now. I don't know. And I sent out a message to somebody I haven't had to talk to in a long time, and I was like, "Hey, man, you've been using power in my name for 5 years." And he said, "Slipped through the cracks." He said, "It's been a weird few years."
I mean, not untrue, but also, like, one thing we can say about the last few years is you had a lot of time, a lot of downtime. Everybody had a lot of downtime where you could have called the electric company and just put your electric bill in your name. Particularly before racking up a ton of charges and excessive power use.
Yeah. So his response said, I'll transfer it in any existing balance there. I was like, oh, that also means you haven't been paying it.
And
so cool.
Any existing balance. Wow.
So they're probably calling me right now to like verify that I want this changed the fuck out of my name. And I do. Anyways, that's what's happening right now. And it's a weird day, so I'm telling my weird story. Adam
B says, is he crypto mining?
I don't know. I don't know the man. I don't know him anymore. Flatlander said that would be illegal here, because that's what I said. I said, would I have any like thing I could do if I can prove to you that I haven't lived there? My name isn't on the lease. My name isn't on anything. Yeah. I know it was taken off.
Oh, absolutely. What he's doing is illegal.
Oh, no. The power company said it would still be your responsibility.
Well, the power company's going to say that because they just want their money.
I'm offering them someone else to get their money from.
Right, but they don't want that. What the power company is saying, what that customer service rep for the power company is saying is, your name's on it and it's my job to collect that money from you. And anything that you're doing above and beyond that, I don't give a shit about. But it is illegal.
They were like, it's on your name. If there's an existing balance, it's your problem.
Yeah. No, they don't want to deal with the legality of it, but it is illegal.
Whoa!
It is illegal. It's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. Anyway, let's talk
about the Game Boy Micro.
Let's talk. Okay, so today, this week was the week that everybody, for whatever reason, got to interview Reggie Fils-Aimé. Reggie Fils-Aimé is back and he's being interviewed all the time.
Yeah, doing a little press tour.
Because he's got a book coming out, and so everybody was like, hey, it's Reggie. What's Reggie up to? The answer is not much. Reggie just loves NFTs and hanging out and talking about what he would have done if he was still in charge of Nintendo. Which, like, fine.
And for context, he was once in charge of Nintendo.
Right. He was also on the board of GameStop for like 7 months there, and then just left. He was like, nah, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But part of what's going on as part of this media tour is they're releasing early copies of the book and also excerpts of the book that people can post everywhere. It's your standard book tour.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker. And let me tell you something. I don't have much of a problem with Reggie. I'm neutral towards Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Sure, we don't like NFTs.
I don't like NFTs, but he couldn't. Nintendo didn't let him do that. This motherfucker said that he was forced to launch the Game Boy Micro and he hated it. This heartless man, this heartless garbage person, How dare... Listen, Reggie Fils-Aimé has done nothing wrong to me, as far as I'm concerned, until this moment, and now he's dead to me.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna send a
perfectly
wolf
fair.
to piss on his house.
I'm gonna send first. We send the wolves to piss on my old house.
Yeah.
and then to Reggie's house. To my ex-boyfriend, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah. Oh
who's
no.
been using the power in my name.
We weren't supposed
and
to name
hates
him.
the Game Boy Micro.
Now
Same house.
people will know that you got this luxurious shack and all of our hundreds of viewers by using your relationship with Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Look,
There's a reason we have over 200 people that know who we are. All right?
Look, the Game Boy Micro brings people together. I entered into the home of friend Hector Navarro.
Love
somewhere
Hector
recently,
Navarro.
And Hector Navarro runs out of the room and comes running back in and goes, "Look!"
He started
Look!
collecting Game Boy stuff during the demi.
And he opens up his little case, unzips it, and presents his Game Boy Micro to me. And now we're friends.
The Game Boy Micro
the
is
Game Boy Micro.
one of the most beautifully designed pieces of hardware ever made. It is absolutely lovely. But Reggie says, the way Nintendo works, and we kind of have an idea of the way Nintendo works. Nintendo of Japan calls the shots. Nintendo of America gets to do what Nintendo of Japan says.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
And sometimes they get to like have some ideas.
Uh-huh.
But basically, if Nintendo of Japan makes a decision, Nintendo of America has to go along with it. And so he said that he was like, Nintendo of America was not made aware of the Game Boy Micro. If they had been, with enough time, he would have talked them out of it. He said, from my perspective, the concept was a non-starter. The hardware was exceptionally small. That's the point.
The word is micro.
It's micro. It's a small micro. Not only that, but the control buttons were difficult for any reasonably sized adult to manipulate. I'm exactly one medium man, and I have no problem with it.
Hey, Reggie. Just say you got weird hands.
Just say you got big, weird monster hands.
Just say you got weird hands.
Say you got
Reggie.
say you got big old mitts. Say you got them Reggie mitts. That's fine. Just say it. But also the screen was tiny. Yes, that's the point. And every Game Boy game looked amazing on it because of the pixel density. It was a beautifully designed. It was also the brightest screen. It had the best speaker. It had all those interchangeable faceplates.
Yeah.
It was sick as hell, dude. It was sick as hell.
This is the way you said that was funny.
Game Boy Micro was sick as hell, dog. So they said the development of the hardware continued no matter what, like regardless, because it was too late for them to give input, and they were forced to launch it. And then they said, we all should have agreed that this product would be a distraction for us in our market and either not introduce it or have it terminated as a project globally.
It's too intense, Reggie. Settle down. Put those big mitts away.
Yeah, stop waving your big mitts around. It's intimidating. They said the Game Boy Micro launched to lackluster results, according to Reggie. But here's the thing. When all of your executives in an entire market decide they hate a product, how much are they going to push that product? The Game Boy Micro was not pushed.
Nope.
They did not do a huge push for the Game Boy Micro.
Absolutely not.
Everybody I know that had a Game Boy Micro loved it.
Uh-huh.
Loved it. And the Game Boy Micro, when it was out, was sold out everywhere. It was really hard to get a Game Boy Micro. They simply did not want the Micro to succeed, and therefore get fucked.
Big hands.
This is actually the first. King Sassafras says this is the first time I've actually ever heard of the Micro.
See?
BL format. This is the first time I've heard of it. This is fucking ridiculous. The Game Boy Micro is beautiful.
I always want to read your
All
name.
Game Boys are beautiful, no matter what their body types.
Don't shake the shed. It'll collapse.
All Game Boys are beautiful.
Even a clap shakes the shed.
I still want one. The resale on them is so high.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like $150, $200.
Right. And
And
then you'd have to put a bunch of work into it because it's you.
Yeah, and it's all scratched up usually.
Yeah.
But they have a faceplate.
Tell me, Anthony. Tell me about the faceplate.
It's all booze. It's Oops All Booze. Have you ever seen this Game Boy Micro faceplate?
No, show me.
I'll show you. Let's
the
look at
Famicom Anniversary Micro is 10 out of 10 best Game Boy.
Oh, it's a great Game Boy.
That's pretty good. You still got yours in a duffel bag somewhere? Get that thing out.
I'll give you $15 for it right now. That's the Boo faceplate.
Bingo Bobcat, do you have 2 Game Boy Micros? That's so good.
Bingo Bobcat.
Boo's my boy.
Almec, as Anthony, as much as I love mine, if I can find it in storage, I will gladly send it your way. You do not have to do that. If you do, I will pay you.
We do have a Pixel Circus P.O. box.
We do have a Pixel Circus P.O. box. I'm just saying. Look at this. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
Before I got us retros, I thought about getting us micros.
The Retroid was the right choice.
The Retroid was the right choice.
Absolutely
But
the right
I
choice.
thought about getting us micros, and I was looking for the Boo faceplate because I knew you would want the Boo faceplate.
Aww. That's very nice.
And there are companies now that still make faceplates for them. Like you can go to like Retro 6. Some of these companies that make like new cases and replacement shells for Game Boys, they make like brand new Game Boy Micro faceplates with lenses, and they're so good. They're so good.
Wow.
Ugh, the Kingdom Hearts faceplate. This isn't real. This is custom, but like
That's dope.
It's beautiful.
That's cool as shit.
Look at that. There are places that they'll print you, like you send them the design and they'll print you your faceplate.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's
Why does
so
it look
good.
So bad? There we go.
It's so good. I love
That's
the
a very
Game Boy
cool design.
Micro. Eat
I've
shit,
never actually
Reggie.
played with one.
You'd love it. It's so small.
I held one.
They're so tiny.
I held Hector's.
More video games.
More video games? Are there more video games?
More video games. Today's a rough day. Yesterday and today are rough days in American history. Hey, fucking when is it not?
True.
Return to precedented times. All Game Boys are beautiful.
Bro.
So I want to talk about Fluff Nest. Fluff Nest.
Here, let's show it on this one. There we go. Nice full screen.
Behold Fluff Nest. Fluff Nest.
Tell me about Fluff Nest, Anthony.
Fluff Nest is the studio that is making PuffPals Island Skies. It's a Kickstarter. You know, we don't normally talk about Kickstarters. This one's been particularly successful. I do want to say, though...
Loud.
I do want to say that this game looks incredibly gorgeous.
Also, they're looking for a concept artist. If y'all do anyone that does concept art.
Look at this beautiful little island. Of course there's farming, Saige. Of course you can farm. But look at these round animals.
The love for a round animal knows no bounds.
And look at these little round cuties. You play as a round cutie.
Yeah, here I got up and he said hello.
You play as a little round cutie. All your vegetables have little faces, and they can walk around with you ooblet style.
I'm so excited for this game.
Grow and develop your farm.
This is so my shit.
Build the house of your dreams. Look at that pumpkin house.
Living in a pumpkin? Are you fucking kidding me?
All I want, listen, you know that TikTok, that woman that's just like, I want to live my life like a little frog resting on a lily pad?
Yeah, of course. I actually think that they might be non-binary.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think that's a woman.
I want to be a little frog resting on a lily pad.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. That's all I want to.
I follow the laws. I can only do things a frog
I can only do things a frog would do. Look, that chicken is running the store. Look at that. Different biomes.
Ah.
Look at that round-ass fucking trash panda.
The
Look at it.
Kickstarter has plushes?
The Kickstarter does have plushes as rewards. Now remember...
I was wondering how much.
Yeah, no,
I was curious.
No, we always tell you. This is a remember for the BBs.
Right.
Remember,
Right.
this is a Kickstarter. It is not a game yet. There is no guarantee that things will happen, but it is doing very well. It's raised $1.8 million of a $75,000 goal.
So I'm pretty sure the game's getting made.
The next bless you. The next update that they're going for is at 2 million, and they're going to unlock an amusement park, a carnival. They've unlocked multiplayer, they've unlocked different biomes. Every backer gets a free pet right now, which is the catalope, Dewey the catalope.
Oh.
It's very cute. It's very cute.
So Fluff Nest was originally a plush toy company.
That makes sense. And so they're taking their little Fluff Nest pals, and they're putting them into a game. Oh my God. There are little resident cards for these animals.
Yep.
Sky Island's resident ID for Ricky the raccoon. The quote is, "We can use this for something. Just leave it." That's you.
I love them. Look, and this one's you is Bill. The power of a good potato soup.
That's big. You know, I'm always talking about potato soup.
He's talking about the power of a good potato soup.
Listen, every time the show's over, I'm just like, yo, are we going for potato soup or what?
Oh, you didn't scroll down. There was one more card, Anthony. There's a wolf.
Now this frog is definitely me.
But if you
it says, okay, I'll keep scrolling down, but this frog says if it fits in your mouth, you can eat it, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely me. Oh, wait.
Below that, there's a wolf, and the quote says, "If I can see it, I can piss on it." So that's great. A nice little round wolf.
I like that they're keeping the animals true to the way they are in nature, right?
Yeah.
Like
Ducks love potato soup.
Ducks love potato
Wolves
soup.
love to piss.
Wolves will piss on everything. A frog will swallow anything that fits in its mouth. These are rules of nature that we all understand. Wouldn't that be Dagger? Yes. Yes. The boy is here today, and he's feeling a little better.
Things that don't fit in his mouth.
One time, have I told this story on the show? I must have. But one time, just a few months ago, Dagger, I thought he was having a little heart attack because he has cardiac issues because he's old. And so I ran him to the emergency vet, the emergency hospital, and they took him in and they had him for hours and they were running scans and everything. He swallowed a bully stick whole. One of those like chewy sticks. He swallowed it and it was lengthwise in his little body. And he couldn't move.
Yeah.
And it was hurting him.
I was so fucking worried about that boy.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Anyway.
It looks fun as hell.
It looks really cute.
Speaking of other things that are actually Kickstarter based, I want to talk about the Bladerunner TTRPG game.
Yes, let's do that because they just released a bunch of great details to, of course, who else could it be? Oh no, this wasn't a Charlie. I thought this was a Charlie article.
Not a Charlie article.
Whoa!
A charticle.
Not a charticle.
I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm sorry, Charlie.
Kirthi wrote this one.
We got a ton more info about what the actual gameplay looks like and how they intend for it to be played. And what they intend is mostly for you to do whatever the fuck you want. And I think that that's very, very cool. There are a good amount of statements here. It says a lot of the surface gameplay is investigation. Players will be going places, talking to people, collecting evidence. A big source of inspiration was Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective, and other classic mystery-solving games.
They just said the right phrase. They just said Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective. That's all I want to hear. But here's an even bigger thing that I love. A lot of the game is done through downtime activities. What are you doing when you're not working the case? Look, my hair is standing on end. It really is.
It's okay, buddy.
Basically, you go into the personal life of your character, whether you're a replicant or a human or whatever. You pick a key memory and a key relationship for your character. And these are not just like flavor backstory for your character. These go into your downtime activities.
Yep.
And the downtime activities are spotlights on the personal lives of these characters, and those function to create your place in the city and in this reality. Like, I love that it's just as much a surviving in this city, questioning who you are game as it is a detective game, because that's what Bladerunner is.
Yeah.
That's what Blade Runner is, baby. Woo!
I'm very excited about this. So it is not based on another system. It's an original system.
Well, I think it's based on the Year Zero engine.
Year Zero, it's completely adjusted though. They
Right.
said that it has its completely own like dice set and rule set. So yes, it is made through other Year Zero. It is made on the foundation of other Year Zero games, but they specifically said we didn't want the rules and dice to dominate the table too much, so we decided to scale back the feel of the dice and mechanics so they're a little more background than in some other Year Zero games.
I love that. Because, look, what I like about Year Zero is the success-fail dice pool is very easy, right? The success-fail dice pool is a great, like, easy way to do things mechanically, but not bog players down, right?
Yeah.
You roll 6 dice, you're going to need 3 or more successes for this. Or, as you level up, you get more dice, or as you're using different skills, you get different dice pools for those skills. I think that's a great way to do it. But I like that. But the other thing that I like is that they're pulling back and they're going like, but not everything is going to be success-failed dice rolls.
Right.
There needs to be ambiguity in this because it is Blade Runner.
I also think that that's a hopeful evolution of TTRPGs for me. I think the idea that someone can be specialized in something and a dice roll dictates so much of it is like, there has to be other ways to go about things. In the same way that like we've gotten to a point in Dungeons and Dragons where spells are either like a roll to hit or a save in some capacity. A save means that I'm good at that thing and you might be able to dodge it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's like a system that we're working past, just like, does it work? No, I guess I shot over here instead for some reason. I'm pushing for like the future of hitboxes. I'm pitching for the future of calling your shot and adjusting difficulty based on it.
Yeah.
I want the optional. I don't even think that's crunch. I think that it is just a little more conversation because I think combat's boring.
Well, yeah, and I think there is something to what you're saying of like, okay, yes, everything has a chance of failure, but like, yo, if your character is the best, if your character is literally established as the best in the world at this, there's no way you're gonna miss whatever that is, right? And I just feel like it's so wild. It's so wild.
Hi, Alex.
Juice bag.
Alex just showed up to say juice bag. I bought Lunchables for everybody for the 12-hour stream, and they only had the like big ones that had the juices in them. And for some reason, everyone ate the Lunchables and left these Capri Suns in the fridge and didn't drink the Capri Suns like fucking menaces.
Yeah.
I'm just vibing out here with my Capri Sun. It's a tough day, and a Capri Sun makes it a little better.
Something I think of when I think about this is like, there have been times where like, particularly somebody brought up knowledge checks, and I think that's a big one too. Like knowledge and history checks.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Of course I know. Like,
we've had a couple characters at the table on Failed Save that are like, their backstory is, I'm very into lore and I know everything about this. And
I'm Effie.
But it's Effie, and it's also, I mean, it's also Kai. Yeah. You know? But there have been like, I would say about half the time, just because of roles, it's like, no, you don't know that. It's like, no, they have to know that.
Yeah.
But
but that's the system.
But that's the system.
That's rules is written.
But so I like this that pulls back a little bit from it. Somebody was asking if there are if it's collaborative or if there are GMs. There is a GM. You have game runners and
great name for it.
Yeah, you have game runners and case runners. Case runners are the people that are actually like playing. Game runners are the people that are running the game world. The game, if you back it, is going to come with an adventure titled Electric Dreams. It's a great title. Very Philip K. Dick. I love the reference. So it has everything that they're going to need to like run your first thing, get used to the system. I love it. I also like the feelies that come with it. Can we talk about the feelies?
Good stuffs.
Like, look at this, the little newspapers and the little file folders. And I know this is just adventure module stuff that you're probably not going to use very much, but like, I love that it comes with this little stuff. A ticket to Offworld or an ad about Offworld.
I think this is awesome.
I love it.
Hi, Kaylee.
So good. Doxy, like these different character classes, the Doxy, you always know what to say, body language, eye contact, vocal tones, body temperature, pulse rate. You can control all of that. It's a different type of replicant. It's so good. I'm excited. This launches tomorrow on Kickstarter.
Yeah. The Kickstarter is up.
Is it? I thought it launched tomorrow. I could be wrong. If it's already up, go check it out.
Oh, no, it is very much up. It's got 22 days to go, and they've raised $993,000 out of a $10,000 goal.
Dang!
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This has been getting a lot of attention, so of course. They also did clarify in there that your humanity is not decided on whether you choose a human or a replicant.
Mm-hmm.
It is not defined by your origin. It is in your actions and what you choose to do, and that is really the path that we have followed in designing the game. Which I think is really cool, because obviously they have those kind of like standard players to choose from.
But it's great because that's also very Blade Runner. Free League. This is done by Free League. Free League has done some other stuff. They've done the Avatar: Last Airbender stuff. They did a G.I. Joe and Transformers. Like, they've done a lot of stuff. So it's I would rate this an incredibly safe Kickstarter. I would rate this as one of those Kickstarters where it's going to be made anyway. But they're using Kickstarter as sort of a pre-order.
And publishing. They also did the Alien.
Oh, yeah,
game.
and they did
that
the
was
one.
One of their big ones.
They did the Lord of the Rings one, too. They did the One Ring game.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tales from the Loop. This is. I would rate this as among the safest of Kickstarters.
Yeah.
But it is still a Kickstarter, and I always like to say that. It's not a real thing until you have it in your hands.
Very, very true.
What else we got? Oh.
We got a couple more things. It's already 9:22, though.
Yeah, well, I want to say and a little bit of fucking business news.
Let's talk about a little bit of fucking business news.
Yo. Activision. Boo.
Boo. This is also your reminder that I don't care how much of the IGN, the PC Gamer, the Kotaku, Game Informer fucking entire feed is dominated by Overwatch 2 bullshit news just about like little details of the game that people are playing. We're not going to talk about Overwatch 2. Fuck you, Blizzard.
We're not going to talk about Overwatch 1.1 patch.
We're only going to talk about you when you do something that we think is embarrassing.
Because here's the thing. Overwatch 2 isn't even good. It's not even anything.
Don't play it.
Don't play it. You're not missing anything.
Activision has been pumping out Call of Duty games on a yearly basis too fucking quickly about the same goddamn thing, remaking the games over and over again. And unsurprisingly, people, by the time Vanguard came around, were like, I'm not doing this again.
Now, yeah.
This is bullshit and I'm not doing it again. This is just ridiculous.
Vanguard also had a ton of issues when it came out. People were complaining about features of Vanguard, about how Vanguard was running. There was not a lot that was great about Vanguard.
It was boring and bad and made by boring and bad people.
Even for Call of Duty fans. And one of the things that's really interesting is Vanguard was very lauded as the return to World War II, which people have been asking for in Call of Duty forever. People have been asking for a return to World War II.
Hey, you know what? Once again, as your Jewish hosts, I'll be the first person here to say, let's not.
Let's just not return to World War II.
I'm good.
People were asking for it, and then they were given it, and then it didn't do well because the game wasn't great. And so you know what? And also, people are just boycotting Activision right now in a huge way, as they should. And you know what Activision said the problem was? It's probably that they put it in World War II. It's not the fact that we're all tired of Call of Duty. It's not the fact that, like, new and exciting permutations of the first-person shooting genre have come out and eaten Call of Duty's lunch and just do far more interesting things in far more interesting ways.
It's not because you've made the same game over and over again, and it's not because your company is run by a bunch of sex pests that people know about publicly now.
Yo.
It couldn't be any of that.
It couldn't be any of that.
People are tired of World War II.
It's probably just that people are tired of World War II. That's
it. It's probably World War II's fault. It's not our fault you didn't like the game. It's World War II's fault.
It's World War II's fault. Come on. The Great War, maybe you've heard of it. Was that World War I? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Activision fucking...
There's a lot of things that I could say. It's not my fault. It's World War II's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
My family did a last name change. It's not my fault. It's World War II's fault.
My family did a lot of terrible mental issues, and that is World War II's fault. But anyway, Activision, get fucked. Go away.
Burn in hell.
May a wolf piss on everything you own.
Maybe that was the problem. Maybe they didn't have enough wolf piss in the game. Maybe if they had
I
put
think
a
their
bunch of
games are
wolves-
98% wolf piss, and that's the
No,
problem.
but think about it. If you had like an ability, like I know that you could call over, God, I can't remember any of the fucking Call of Duty terms anymore. I haven't played a Call of Duty game in so many years.
Prestige.
Not what I was thinking about, but any of the little things that you could call over, like drone strikes, essentially.
Yeah.
What if instead you could call out and
A wolf piss?
Yeah, and you could just call in a pack of wolves
Don't give them good
to
ideas.
piss on everything.
If you give them good ideas, they'll just steal them.
Copyright. It's too early.
We
2022.
mailed the idea of a wolf pissing on a soldier to ourselves.
Yeah, and it's in the Library of Congress.
Now it's copywritten. As long as we don't open that mail, the idea of a wolf pissing on a soldier belongs to us.
Exactly.
We're going to put stickers on everybody's back windshield of a wolf pissing on a soldier.
Okay, but wolves pissing on Nazis?
I mean, yes, obviously. Listen, a peeing wolf is always right twice a day. That's what they say. A wolf's gonna pee on everything, and eventually
Guys,
it's gonna pee on the right
If we
thing.
made you a sticker of a wolf pissing on a Nazi, would you buy it? I'm not saying we're gonna do it. And if Kaylee's in chat, she's gonna say, Saige, please.
But what if it's a
Please
wolf
stop.
just pissing on a soldier, like just some sort of soldier?
Any soldier?
I don't know. You can decide what soldier it is. You can come up with your own headcanon for it. You know?
Anyways, let's keep talking about news. This one was fucking wild to me, and I absolutely want to talk about it. I want to talk about this AI that you put in here, Anthony.
David O'Reilly, he is David O'Reilly is a digital artist that has done a lot of stuff. He is most known for two things, creating the game Mountain for iOS, but also for creating all of the fake video game animations for the Spike Jonze movie Her. Also created the game Everything for the PS4, if you ever played that, which is one of my favorites. David O'Reilly is a weird and interesting cat.
You pull it up in yours?
Yeah, and he created something using AI that I absolutely love.
So what he created was a Tupac AI.
He used multiple AIs. He asked a Tupac AI, a language AI, a GPT-3 AI, something that we talked about before.
Yeah.
He asked a GPT-3 AI to create a Tupac song about AI, and then he ran it through one of those vocal AIs that
To make it sound like
impersonates a
Tupac.
voice.
So let's listen to it. You're muted, just you know.
I see the changes, I see all the robots and machines. Lifeless eyes staring at me with broken dreams. I think about the future and it frightens me. I'm starting to lose faith in humanity.
I wonder if we'll get copyright hit for this AI song. Just because of the beat. Hopefully not. Also, the right wing can come for us. Distorted. Try me.
I love that the AI is like, yeah, I'll create an anti-AI song. I don't care.
Fucking wild.
I'm not a real intelligence.
Towards the end of it, it gets like weirdly repetitive and it keeps saying the same thing. And it's like, I see. Yeah. It just keeps doing this. Fuck, man.
Yeah, no, this
Shit
isn't a
got
rap.
so real.
This isn't a rap anymore. This is simply somebody screaming.
Yeah, this is actually just the inside of my brain. These are my idle thoughts.
Yeah,
All I
this
see is death. That's just the way it is.
It's kind of wild. I love it. And then, of course, in the background, you have that art AI.
Yeah.
And it's just telling it, make me a Tupac collage.
Right. David O'Reilly did clarify that he didn't do any of the writing for this. None of this is written, but it is slightly like edited into the song.
Yeah. Fucking wild. Fucking wild. He says the lyrics, performance, video, and captions are all by 4 different AIs. Because an AI, like a natural speech AI, is the AI that captions your like Instagram posts.
Yeah.
And you don't think about that, but it is.
Yep.
It's wild to think about. And honestly, until it got into the existential dread part of it, it kind of slapped.
I think it ended up slapping more.
I mean,
actually.
sure.
It slaps harder than the existential dread for me.
Sure. The existential dread in this room always slaps harder.
Right.
But I'm saying you could have released that first half. Like somebody could, like some hip hop artist could release that first half, and I'd be like, oh, that's real. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
I
I think we've only got time for one more thing, and I think we should talk about this big piece of news.
This is a huge piece of news. Oh, I thought you were going to go another way. I thought you were going the jokey way with it.
No, it's actually a big piece of news.
You're like, no.
It's 9:30.
Yeah, you're right. But I thought you were going to go to the other one. Justin Lin
I'll do it.
has left Fast 10. He said he's fucking tired. This movie is not worth my mental health. He walked out after a major disagreement with, can you guess who?
Everybody in the chat, hold here. Who do you think that Justin Lin got into a big disagreement with on the scene of Fast 10? Y'all got it.
You got it. It's Groot.
Vin Diesel himself, the boy who in his contract cannot lose a fight.
And not only cannot lose a fight, has to throw as many punches as the other guy and land them.
So I think part of this actually spawns from a new clause that was added to Vin Diesel's contract specifically for Fast 10, which Justin Lin felt like really got in the way of the creative process,
right.
Which was that Vin Diesel himself got to punch 10 pissing wolves in the movie.
That's right. He said, I want to punch one. He said, I want to punch one piss wolf for every time we made one of these movies. Every time a wolf's pissed on one of my things in real life, I get to punch a wolf for it.
Control Quinn came in at a very strange time. If you haven't been here for the rest of the show, I'm so sorry.
And then Vin Diesel jumped onto the table and said, let me show you what it's like to have a wolf piss on what you love.
And then he pissed on everything.
He pissed on all of Justin Lin had drawings that he made that were cars falling out of airplanes and cars getting shot out of rifles. There was a machine gun that just shot cars as bullets. And he was like, and it said on the top, it said, My Ideas for Fast 10 by Justin Lin,
and Vin
age
Diesel
42.
Pissed right on
and
it.
He pissed right on it.
Fast and Fury piss is very funny, Great Day.
He pissed right on he got a good idea for a catapult that launches a car.
Anyways, in the actual news, yeah, of course, that makes perfect sense. Vin Diesel is a fucking menace. And everybody hates him.
I can't wait until the Fast franchise is over and Vin Diesel is like, why isn't anybody calling Vin Diesel be a movie? I'm Vin Diesel.
I can't imagine why.
And then he goes to sleep at night wondering why people aren't hiring him, and a wolf comes in and pisses on all his stuff.
You know what? There are a few things from
too
today.
Too fast, too wolfy piss.
Why is that so funny to you?
I think it's wolfy. I think it's wolfy piss.
Look, there's a few people that I hope legitimately from today's stories get a wolf to piss on their things. And I'm going to start in order of priority, I think.
Yeah.
So it's the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. May a wolf piss on everything you own.
Yeah. Activision Blizzard?
May 100,000 wolves piss on all 100,000 square feet of your campus.
And then I think it's like Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Of the people we talked about from today's show, I think. I think that's about it.
Probably Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. This is a picture of Shadow the Hedgehog buying things at Claire's. We'd like to thank everybody that supported us during the show today. We have noticed you subscribing and donating and all of those things. We're going to go through a roll call of all that here in just a moment. We simply cannot interrupt the flow of the news is all. Just like a wolf's piss stream. It cannot be interrupted. But until we go through that, let's discuss where we're going to be and what we're doing, who we are. Saige, what the fuck is your life about?
Hi, I'm Saige Ryan. I go by Not Saige everywhere on the internet. I will be streaming at some point this afternoon Lego Star Wars. I was going to
do Lego Star Wars this night.
May the Force
This very night.
This very night? You're kidding me. We both thought of Star Wars on Star Wars Day?
This very night, Incredible. I too was going to stream a Star Wars.
He showed up outside the shed today and we both went... like Spider-Man's in our Star Wars clothes. You can find me on the internet, but most importantly, register to vote in local elections. Voting in every election matters. The smaller elections, your vote matters maybe even more. It's very important. Write your Congress people, and if they are actively working against reproductive rights, then tell them you hope a wolf pisses in their office.
Tell them you're going to send a wolf to piss in their office. It's not illegal to threaten to send a wolf to piss on somebody's office. It's not illegal because if you don't own a wolf, that's stupid. What are you going to do? Nobody owns wolves. They're wild animals. You can tell anybody you want that you're going to send a wolf to piss on their stuff. No one can stop you. It's not illegal. Healthcare
is a human right, and abortion access is healthcare. So do what you can. Leverage any privilege that you have. And I'm also just sending a lot of love and hugs to those with ovaries today, because it's a rough time to have a uterus. And I love you very much, and I'm sorry for the world, and I hope that your day just gets better and better, because, man, we're starting real low. Anthony, what's your deal?
Hi, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. May a wolf piss on whoever locked my screen name. I got a science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata called We Have Concerns. You can find that at wehaveconcerns.com. I'll be streaming tonight. I was also going to stream Lego Star Wars. Maybe I still will. Maybe I'll stream Lego Star Wars and I'll call Saige and threaten her with wolf piss.
Only one. There can only be one person streaming Lego Star Wars on May the 4th.
Do we want to stream Lego Star Wars together?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I haven't started it yet. Ugh, don't do that in the mic.
I didn't mean to.
That was bad.
It's just the way the Hershey's coat your mouth.
Anyways. We love you all very, very much. We're going to go through and we're going to thank everybody, but a reminder, there's a lot of ways you can support the channel completely free. You can do things like sharing it on your social media, telling a friend about it in person. You can just show up and watch the show. That's the number one thing you can do. You can join the Discord. It's literally free.
It's free real estate, baby. And the Discord has been wolf free for 3 days. We have managed not to have a wolf pissing incident at the Discord for over 72 hours. Not every Discord can make that promise to you. Not every community can guarantee that a wolf isn't going to piss all over it. And we're not going to say a wolf's never going to piss all over it.
We can't promise that, but we can tell you it's been 3 days.
We don't control wolves. Hey, thank you to everybody who has subscribed in the past, donated in the past, given bits in the past. We love you. We do want to give a shout out to everybody who directly supported us during the show. As you know, your subscriptions and your Patreon memberships all go to keep this shack from falling down and collapsing into itself. Your donations go directly to us as the hosts. So you can support the network and you can directly support us. Let's give a big thanks to everybody who directly supported us during the show today. Skywalker9982, gifted 5 tier 1 subs. We appreciate it. Chaotic Groovy with the prime resub for 13 months.
That's a Pixel Circus year!
Sutex Gift with the 420 tip. Blaze It, saying happy 4th. Cassidy Weaver
with you.
Cassidy Weaver with 100 bits saying we could try petting the wolves. I mean, it depends on where the piss is pointed. I don't want to approach a peeing wolf.
Yeah, you don't want to pet the piss pants.
Listen, my grandmother always said, never approach a pissing wolf.
Right.
And that's a saying from the old country.
Of course.
Skywalker with the tip for 504, saying may the 4th be, and also with you. Thunder Cabbage 1 with the cheer, thank you. G.K. with the resub for 3 months, thank you very much. Skywalker9982 with a gift sub, thank you. Mrs. Reaper Lightning with a resub for 3 months, saying 3 months, glad to be here. We are very glad to have you here. King Sassafras with the $6.66 tip. Thank you for talking about the difficult stuff and making sure to keep everyone informed.
And also with you.
And also with you. And also, we will remind you, please also get your information from sources that are better and more responsible than us. We just spent 92 minutes talking about wolf piss. As Joriel with the resub for 19 months. That's a long time. I think you like us. Britt JK with the resub for 3 months, saying, here for life, I guess. Oh, well, we're all trapped in the same spike pit. We're happy to have you. Columbia Skies with the resub, thank you. D Keller 1477 with the resub for 11 months.
You're caught up.
And that's it. Thank you all so much for all of the wonderful, just all the wonderful. You're all so wonderful.
Alex, #wolfpiss. Anyways, I hate that I'm making this transition. There is a link right there in the chat for abortionfunds.org. Not only can you go and support financially, there are links to petitions that you can sign. There's links to just getting yourself informed. It's one of the most powerful things you can do is know what happens next and prepare yourself for it and the people around you and understand what actions you can take to try and protect healthcare.
I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of people right now are sitting around going, I don't know what to do about this. And the answer is there are things you can do. There will be even more things you can do later, but you can start preparing right now. So do that. Don't let the wolves piss on us.
Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, BBs.